Welcome to An Apple a Day, a podcast, a resource, a community. Share your experiences and learn from others as we overcome barriers and learn to live a happy and healthy life. Not as disabled people, but as people with a disability. Welcome to the community. Here's your host, Jimmy Apple.
Welcome to another episode of An Apple a Day. I'm your host, Jimmy Apple. Hey, how you feeling today, my friends? You feeling good? You feeling strong? You feeling better than you did yesterday? Excellent. Can't ask for better than that. Today is not a full episode of An Apple a Day. Today's just a bit, a bite, a slice of the apple. That's right. Today we're talking to the unstoppable Brianna Paauwe. She's back and she has a message for you. She's talking about the We're With Me Foundation and a thing called Empowerment Week. I'm going to let her explain all of that to you. But I just want to give you a little spoiler alert. About 2 minutes into our conversation, you're going to hear something that may shock you about people in wheelchairs. Now, it took me back a little bit. It took my breath away, actually, because I'm a person in a wheelchair, and I was shocked. Just watch for like the 2-minute mark in our conversation coming up. She is such a nice lady. She's a sweetheart, and I'm going to tell you something about what she's going to tell you about Empowerment Week. I'm not going to let anything else out of the bag but this here. This is something you very rarely hear on the internet anymore. This whole thing that she's going to tell you about is completely, absolutely, positively free. F-R-E-E exclamation point free. So if that doesn't pique your interest, I don't know what will. But I want you to sit back, relax, grab yourself a cup of coffee, a cup of tea. Hey, it's October. You might even want to get a little cup of hot chocolate and a cookie. So get ready to listen to the unstoppable Brianna Paauwe and listen to this conversation. And remember, look for like the 2-minute mark in our conversation, and you never know. It may shock you. It may not. But sit back, relax, and here comes Brianna. And we have with us today the unstoppable Brianna Paauwe is back with us today, and she's got some great information for you. You're going to love it. It's free, so you're going to love it even more. How are you doing today, Brianna?
Oh, I'm doing great, Jim. Thank you so much for having me back.
Oh, anytime. You're welcome here anytime. So what's going on?
Well, what I wanted to share with you guys is something we call Empowerment Week. So we chatted a little bit last time about the Wheel With Me Foundation. And one of the main things that we do is we offer Empowerment Week seasonally or quarterly, however you want to look at it. And so our next empowerment event is next week. It's from Monday through Friday. And what we do is we try to find other wheelchair users in the community who are willing to share just a little bit of their time and their tips and their trade with the community and with other wheelchair users. So in the past, we've had people doing fitness and confidence coaching and how to act from your wheelchair. We've had a doctor talk about disabilities and sex. We've had nutritionists.
Wait. Did you say sex?
Oh, yes. We had Dr. Tepper on last summer, and he specializes in spinal cord injury and sex. Oh. And so he's made his whole career out of it, and he shared an hour of his time.
He made a career out of sex. Now,
oh yes.
If there is no other reason to come to this, you can come and learn about sex in a wheelchair. So
absolutely.
There you go. I'm sorry to interrupt, but you piqued my interest with that one. Go ahead.
Well, that's the thing is there's so much knowledge in our community, and wheelchair users, We have sex. It's not a secret.
Ah, oh,
It may be a little surprising
oh
to talk
my
about,
God.
but like this is why we have these events. We want to show wheelchair users what's going on in the community. We want to educate people. We want to inform them. We want to and motivate them to like get involved. So yeah, like I was saying, we have real conversations about real topics. We have people who come on and teach you how to do social media planning, how to be an actor, nutritionist, like I stated before. So it's just whoever has the time and a trade that they want to share, we give them a little bit of a platform to share that on. And so next week, we have a really great lineup. So Monday, we have a dance class. Tuesday, we have confidence coaching with Sarah Foley. Sarah Foley comes every single event. She's been there since the first time, and I'm sure she'll keep going with us till the end. On Wednesday, we have Brianna from Life Rolls On. She is a person in the podcast industry. She's an advocate for other wheelchair users. So we're just going to chat about how she impacts her community down in California. We have aerobics, and then we also have a beginners in sign language class.
Well,
And
what?
all of this, like you said, all of this is free.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That's absolutely amazing. And it's from all over the United States. It's not just one area. You have
No, correct.
you have people from all over.
Correct. So we use social media to find and connect with other wheelchair users, or we even find them in other events that we attend ourselves. And what we do is we go online every night at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. You can log in via Zoom right on your computer. You can log in from your house. We've had people log in from their car when they're driving. And the presenter logs in, they'll take over, they'll share usually about an hour of knowledge or fitness or coaching or whatever it is that they have.
Now, you don't have to be a wheelchair user. This could be somebody that's close to someone in a wheelchair.
Correct. So we've had presenters who weren't necessarily in wheelchairs, but who were very involved in the disability community. But when it comes to people who are allowed to attend, we really try to keep it geared towards the wheelchair audience because that's who we want to benefit. But yes, our presenters aren't always in wheelchairs. We had a really nice gentleman last summer named Garrison who taught us functional mobility and how to keep our shoulders healthy and strong because as a wheelchair user, we're using our shoulders 24/7. They
That
never get a day off.
that's right. That's absolutely correct.
So he gave us the knowledge on how we can just spend 5 to 10 minutes in the morning and at night just stretching our shoulders out, and that prevents injury and tearing and gives us what we need to do to transfer and all the things during the day.
Excellent.
hmm
That's excellent. And it's rare that you find a program like this
hmm
that has so many different facets. You'll find the generic programs in the hospitals, for wheelchair use, and they're usually like how to transfer out of a chair and get back into it. But this is different. This has so many
Exactly.
different facets to it, and you don't want something like this to disappear.
No, and it's different every time. Like I said, so we've only had Dr. Tupper once last summer, but we're always willing to have him back at a different time. So every season, every week that we present, we always have a different group of presenters. Sarah Foley has been the only one who comes back every event to do some type of different personal development or confidence coaching. Otherwise, it's always mix it up, try to get some fitness in there. We try to find business owners in the industry. We had an interior designer share how she was able to start her business as a wheelchair user. And that's really beneficial knowledge for us to have, especially if you're debating on going back to work or getting off disability, or if you really want to start your own business and you're just kind of doubting yourself, seeing other people who look like you and who have the same quote unquote barriers or struggles, accomplishing those things is really motivating. It's like, okay, well, if they can do it, then why can't we?
Absolutely, absolutely.
hmm
I just find this program when you were talking about it the other day, that I find this program to be like monumental because you don't have it. You don't have a wheelchair users usually. Like I said, you have the hospital programs, which are good. Don't get me wrong, they're good, but they're usually the clinical type things, how to
Right, and
transfer.
they can only teach you so much. And the people teaching it, they've never really lived it firsthand. So
Exactly.
they can only teach you what they were taught from a textbook. They don't have the experience of going across different services and like learning where your tipping point is, and how tricky it is to navigate different houses and different hallways that are built differently. One chair may work really well in one house while another chair might struggle a little more.
Ex-
And those are things that don't come to mind when you get just a very broad, basic training in PT. So that's where we come in. That's where Wheel With Me Foundation wants to come in. We want to help give wheelchair users of any kind the information on how to get back to work, how to stay fit, how to find hobbies, how to get involved in the community, how to buy a house. I mean, that's something that my roommate and I talk a lot about personally, but she also shares that on her social media a lot, is what she finds and the struggles and different loans and things, because there's programs out there to help us if we want to make those dreams a reality. And
exactly.
so Wheel With Me just wants to help make it a little bit easier to find those things.
And those aren't readily available. You have to dig for them usually.
You
Nope.
do. Yeah.
Nobody's advertising it. I've never seen like Century 21 say, "Hey, if you're disabled or you're in a wheelchair, come see us. Have we got a deal for you?" I've never seen that. But you have to dig for them, but they are there. And that's where
They are, yes.
your group comes in very handy by pointing
Yeah,
it
yeah.
out.
Yep, we're willing to do a little bit of the digging, a little bit of the networking, a little bit of that investment so that you don't have to. We want to make a nice a resource guide, a resource list in the future so that you can just go on one stop, either online or, something like that, and just be like, bam, here's a list of hospital references, working references, educational references, business starting references, home loaners references, because there is like a USDA loan for first time home buyers if you're disabled. And there's different, I haven't looked into it since the beginning of the year, so I can't remember offhand of the different things that are advantage from that. But yeah, it's a good benefit if you just take a little bit of time to research those. So Wheel With Me is happy to do the research so that everyone else can benefit and grow from it.
That's why it's so important that people get involved with your group now. Get in on the ground floor. Maybe you're not interested 100% in the exercises, but know the group. Get to know your group, and you will be involved with the exercises. Not to mention the sex part.
Yeah, we are reaching back out to him hopefully soon because we would like to do a follow-up. We've been chatting a lot about doing follow-ups with a lot of our presenters from the last couple of years, and really just seeing what kind of new information that they have. Have they done any new research? Like, what have they found in their organization or in their specialty that they'd be willing to share again?
I,
And
I,
that's
I'm
and
joking
like
about
yours.
it, but that really is. I mean, you think about it. People, when you end up in a wheelchair, and you know this yourself, when you end up in a wheelchair, you think your life is over, and that's a big part of your life.
Mhm.
And
It is.
to learn,
And for certain people, their romantic connections and that kind of and those things can be a huge part of your life. And when you have a huge trauma like becoming in a wheelchair, becoming disabled, you almost feel like, oh, I'm not sexy anymore. Like
right?
I'm not that passionate person that I used to be. And there's
Exactly.
no excuse for that. Like, just because we're in a wheelchair or have a catheter or a Foley bag, that doesn't make us any less beautiful or attractive or
Ex-
sexy.
exactly.
And it does take time. It took me a lot of years to realize that myself. But once I did, it was very freeing, and I was really able to accept all of myself. And I think maybe that's when I was willing to meet my partner and finally start trying to be romantic and dabble back into that kind of stuff.
Right. And your biggest enemy in that is your head, yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Once you can get past
Absolutely.
yourself, you're free. You're home free. But it's getting past yourself that's the problem. And having someone like an expert, like you're saying,
Mm-hmm.
it makes it a little bit easier. I know, like you said, for you it took many years. For me, it took many years
Mm-hmm.
because there was no experts. But here
No.
you're putting an expert right there in their hands.
Yes, and that we're giving wheelchair users a space to feel safe and where they can trust other people to feel where they can grow and be like, okay, yeah, this is a conversation that I do feel comfortable finally having. And this is something that I am finally willing to get back into and to really, invest in myself. And it's not even just the sex stuff, but like,
It,
the personal development and the health and wellness and
right.
just finding a purpose in life, whether that's through business or volunteering.
It,
That's all of it. All of those things lead to a well-rounded life. They're all important in their own way.
exactly. Your whole taking everything that you're putting out there, putting it all
Mm-hmm.
together in one big ball. It's personal growth,
Mm-hmm.
and you're helping someone that if it just happened to them yesterday, you're helping them, like pushing that ball, if you will, down the hill, where
Absolutely.
they're not trying to roll up a hill by themselves. You're
Mm-hmm.
you're putting a whole group behind them and pushing them.
That's our goal, especially with me. I didn't get involved with the disability community or individuals in wheelchairs until I was like 9.5 years in. So I was disabled for a very long time before I found others that I could really connect with and learn with and grow with. And that's what my purpose on being on the team of Wheel with Me is to hopefully get to those individuals sooner and to reach them right out of rehab or right in the hospital and let them know, hey, you can do some really cool stuff if you're willing to just like believe in yourself a little bit.
Right.
Don't give up.
You're
And
not alone.
that's the yeah, you're not alone. We'll struggle together. I'm not gonna say there isn't gonna be bad days, because here we are, you and I are both way, way, way far into our disabilities, and I'm sure we both still struggle and have
Of
bad days.
course. Of course. Bad days are part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Bad days are part of it. But you know what? As time goes on, you have more good days than bad days.
Exactly. And I like to remind other, like, especially newly injured individuals, even when you weren't disabled, we had bad days.
Exactly. Exactly.
And it's just about what we choose to make bad. That's one thing that we talk in our Wheel with Me Fit group a lot is choosing our hard. We can do the hard of sitting there and not changing, or we could do the hard of putting in a little bit of effort and, like I said, investing in ourselves. And
Exactly.
that's all. And that's what we're going to do is we're going to give out the resources. We're going to put it out there. As they say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So we're just going to try to bring the biggest pond we can to the horses so that they are more inclined to,
Hey,
nourishing themselves.
you can lead the horse to water. If they don't drink, you can pour it on them.
I like that. I like that.
But now, what is the address that people have to go to tie into this?
What you can do is you can go to our Instagram account, which is just Wheel with Me Foundation on Instagram. And right in our tap link, there is a link right to the Eventbrite page.
I
Or if you'd like, you just go to eventbrite.com and you can search Fall into Better Habits. And that is our event. It's called Fall into Better Habits with Wheel with Me. And it's an entire week of nightly events that are free for wheelchair users and put on in the hopes that we can share this information and make our whole community a little bit stronger.
All right, don't worry if you didn't get that. These addresses are going to be in the show notes for this episode. So they'll be there. You just have to click on them, bring you right to them. But
Perfect.
Brianna, I want to thank you for bringing this out. And I want to thank you for all the work that you're doing with this. I personally appreciate it. I know we were joking about the sex thing and stuff like that. But I really appreciate it. Personally, everything that you're doing with this. This is so important. And it's so important to the people out there that feel alone. You're not alone. You have people like Brianna and
Exactly.
her cohorts here. And you'll see her picture with in the show notes, and you'll know she's not crazy. She's just a nice lady, and but the work that they're doing, and you're not alone. That's the whole thing you have to remember. You're not alone. As alone as you feel, we've been through it. As alone as you feel, you're not. And you're lucky
Absolutely.
to have people like Brianna and her team out there. So
Oh, well, thank you so much, Jim. I appreciate you giving me a little bit more time to talk about this event, and I hope that more people can come this next week, and I hope to see some new faces there. It's going to be a really good time.
I think it's going to be a great time. Make sure you're there. I'm going to be there. I'll tell you that. I want to
Oh, I
find out
can't wait.
more about certain things. No, I'm going to be there. I definitely want to check this out. And I hope everyone that's listening is going to be there. At least if you people that are listening that are in wheelchairs are going to be there. But I think it's very important. It's very important. I think it's very important to support it. I'm not talking about money wise, but support by being there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And just let your friends know. If you have somebody you know that's in a wheelchair, it's worth the hour to go in and check this out. They're working very
Absolutely.
hard on this. So please make sure you check it out. And again, I just can't stress how important it is to let people know that they're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most important thing. If you don't do the exercises, if you don't care about sex in a wheelchair, the fact that you know you're not alone, that's the most important thing.
Absolutely. If you're not into those things, there's a topic for everyone. There's a buddy for everyone. There is a night for everyone else. There's always something that we can offer every human in a wheelchair, and we just really can't wait to watch it grow and to continue seeing it impact people in a positive way.
There you go. That's it in a nutshell. And don't forget, right, Brianna? She'll send you an autograph. She's a superstar.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's a promise I made last time. I'll stick to it.
There you go. Brianna, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for the work that you're doing, and your friends, your coworkers there. Thank them for us too. And,
Oh, I absolutely will, Jim. I hope you have a great day, and thank you so much.
well, thank you. And I'll talk to you again.
I can't wait.
Right. Take care. Have a great day. I want to thank Brianna Paauwe for being with us once again today. And that information she gave us is absolutely phenomenal. You can go over to www.eventbrite.com and type in Fall into Better Habits in the search bar right now. You can see the lineup that's coming up on October 31st. Empowerment Week runs October 31st through November 4th. Now, don't worry, I'm going to have all this information in the show notes for this episode. So the address, everything is going to be in there for you. But make sure you check it out. This is definitely a worthwhile organization. This Wheel With Me Foundation is definitely worthwhile, and Brianna is really working her butt off with this. So check it out. And I want to remind you, An Apple a Day is brought to you by www.famousapple.com. That's the home site for this podcast. And while you're tripping around the web, make sure you stop by our group page, Living with a Disability. You can get there by going to www.famousapple.com/group. I will be talking to you again tomorrow on our Apple Fritter. And you've been listening to An Apple a Day, a slice of the apple. My name is Jimmy Apple. Got enough apples? Have a great day, my friends.
Thanks for listening to An Apple a Day with Jimmy Apple, your gateway to a happy, healthy life. Join our community at www.famousapple.com. See you next time.